Hello everyone. Let me invite you again for Leather and Footwear Talk. So today our guest is Mr. Anwar Hossain, who is now in CEO and Vice Chairman of Export Promotion Bureau, and recently government appointed him as administrator of BGMEA. Sir, welcome, sir.
Thank you.
Sir, first I would like to know like Export Promotion Bureau, as it is promoted export of Bangladesh, how these organizations work and how these organizations support Bangladesh leather and footwear sector.
Thank you. As Export Promotion Bureau, in the name it is clear that we are trying to promote our exports. Our exports, if you see over gradually over the few decades, it enormously, grew. And if you, even last year it was like $46.5 billion. Even 2 decades back it was like single-digit export. So we enormously grew, but what we believe we could grow more. We had that potentials. We believe we have that potentials, and for export promotion, we are couple of strategies we are actually pursuing right now. First of all, like we are trying to digitize all the services for the exporters so that trade facilitation can be improved. Their service could be improved. Second thing, we are trying to promote or improve trade facilitation like port facility, like NBR, customs, even bank issues. So we already have a logistics policy in place, and Export Promotion Bureau is working with that initiative very closely. And recently, EPB visited a couple of places like port and air cargo facilities and gave some suggestions for government so that our exporters can, get the true benefit. Second important point is that EPB is trying to diversify, very, very focused initiative for export diversification, not only for market, also product. So what we're doing, non-traditional market like South America, like CIS, Eastern Europe, like Eastern Asia, East Asia, this kind of market we are focusing, and we are EPB. We are trying to promote our exporters to participate over there in various trade fairs, and for participating in the trade fair, EPB provides big support. In terms of subsidy, particularly for SME, we are giving huge support. Like for participants, in many cases we give very significant amount of subsidy so that they can participate in the global community, means showcasing their products and in the new market. And another important area that EPB is working right now is the policy reform. Policy reform, we see in some sector, if we could bring some minimal reform, we could have a huge implication. Like nowadays we are talking about like partial exporters. Partial export, we would like to give a bank guaranteed duty drawback. So not duty drawback, actually bank guaranteed bonded facility, so that our partial exporter who are like say our furniture industry, they have huge potential, very labor intensive industry, also some technology there. But if they have a local market, almost $2 billion market, but they are exporting only say roughly $90 million. If you compare with Vietnam, Vietnam is exporting more than $8.5 billion. So if we allow them to, as a partial exporter, if they can bring their goods, raw materials as a duty free, and then export it, and against that import, the raw materials cost could be, supported by the bank guarantee, so that there is no, they can comply with the NBR requirement. So if this kind of bank guaranteed bonded facility, if we could offer, and we're dealing actually with the NBR, that would be enormous impact, and I believe that will be a game changer for our exports. So our export is totally rightly now less than $50 billion. I believe the policy reform, not only for NBR, not only for exporters, as well as some in the financial architecture, we are trying to bring some reforms, and infrastructure, particularly for building capacity in the port So this kind of initiative, if we can complete, or we can, move on that direction, I believe our export, total export will be, within very short time, it will be like $100 billion. It's not a big one, I believe. I strongly believe on our entrepreneurs, their resilience. You see, they cope up how quickly they, in the new environment. Even Bangladesh is if you consider like 5th August, it is a new birth, second birth, or rebirth for Bangladesh. So we have, that revolution led by our student and our general people. It's a new opportunity, window of opportunity for us to think new way, build bring new reforms, and that I'm sure it will have an enormous impact on our not only in export as well as overall domestic and global trade.
You were talking about this 5th August, rebirth, second liberation, whatever you call it. But this is opportunity. At the same time, there were some kind of, I would say, propaganda, maybe right word, I don't know. That is what happening outside Bangladesh. So as a EPB, as a stakeholder of export, because if you consider here also this fair, we heard from the organizer that there are some cancellation at the end. So how as a country we are tackling this?
We are really blessed that our Qatar government, our interim government leader is, Dr. Yunus, he himself a brand
Yes.
for Bangladesh, and he's the very pro-business guy. He understands business, social business, he's promoting in the global community. So, you understand the government's commitment for business, for improvement of manufacturing industry, logistics, all the possibility, the government is very much committed. I understand some propaganda negative. This is very logical. Some defeated vested group definitely will try to, defame or try to defame. But what is that? If you see, I can give you the statistics. Like I saw as EPB, I always deal with the export data. July to through October 2023, our total export was like at the time, I'm talking about for RMG, it was export was like $11.5 billion. And July through October 2024, our total export in garment, it was like $12.8 billion. It means that we have $1.3 billion increase. Particularly for October 2023, if we compare with our October 2024 export, it was like 23% growth. It was $2.6 billion was in October 2023. It is $3.3 billion in October 2024. So you see, despite lots of propaganda, probably mainly it is in the social media, and many people believe, many people don't. But point is that our ground reality is quite different than what they are saying. So if you see the progress of our export and growth momentum is there, that's true that we had some struggling. When you have new thoughts, new thinking, new reform agenda, so we need to restart something. Sometimes we need takes time to get momentum. And that's why our total GDP growth might be a little low, like between 5 to 6%. But point is that we need to fix or correct our, economy so that it can sustain in the longer run. We can have a double-digit growth in the next 5 to 10 years time. 5 years time, we definitely will have a double-digit growth. But this time it is a little slow. But propaganda, what is there, in the media, social media, you see, there is no any, substantive, on the
Evidence.
there is the evidence. Evidence I showed that export
Yes,
is
is
growing, and our job employment is creating. Employment is very much good progress there. Our new, even recent time, we experienced a lot of foreign investors actually knocking to me as EPB vice chair as well as administrator for the BGMEA. Many FDI, they are actually looking for backward linkage industry for active wear, like RMG. I mean, they're man-made fiber-based, garment. They would like to establish here, as well as they would like to make some industry that like a non-cotton yarn or something. So huge potential, huge.
So as you said about potential, leather and footwear, I would say last 5-6 years we are kind of stuck on some like 1 billion, 1.4 billion, those levels. So it's not growing that what we expect or we all expect. Why do you think, as a bureaucrat or as a stakeholder of this sector, why do you think it's not growing that way? Because I remember it was kind of targeted that we will go 5 billion within 2025, but it's not happening. Why you think this?
There's one thing is very clear that for the leather sector, there is one challenge was that we don't have that central ETP plan. And you see, we started that initiative since long, 2010. And it is mysteriously, I mean, I don't get any logical, explanation why it didn't happen over the last 10 to 12 years, 12 to 14 years. And recently I heard that it is completed, but this is not in terms of quality, in terms of capacity, is not enough. So, and for that, effluent treatment plant, many factories, very few factories have a like leather working group certification. Without that, they cannot actually compete in the global market. This is very important one. So, recognize that bottleneck. EPB discussing with and pursuing with the industry ministry who are actually entrusted with that responsibility. We are working to have more CETP plan. I discussed a lot with leather and footwear industry. There, I understood their problems, addressed their issue, and then we are coming up with it, as I already mentioned, like some reforms for making their business easy, for some reform in the NBR, some reform in the banking sector, some reform or some support for their skill development, and some R&D. They need some R&D, like for product development, new market, like business intelligence. So this kind of initiative we are actually undertook that initiative, and I'm sure you will see huge difference in the next 3 years' time. And $5 billion is not a big target at all.
Thank you. We last study we had a talk with one of entrepreneur, and I would not say it's complaint, but it was more like the image of Bangladesh, the rebuilding image. You already see that Mr. Yunus is already a big brand, so that of course support us. But at the same time, they were talking about road show in different countries so that people know about Bangladesh leather. Because I remember once we had very good image of black Bengal goat leather, but last few years we don't see this. So what is your plan on this?
So there's couple of strategy we identified. First thing is we really need to have a good country branding strategy. So we already engaged a couple of professional team. So they're coming up with a strategy. Second, we have couple of GI products. So EPB and Ministry of Culture and Ministry of Industry, we're working together to promote that GA product. That will also help, promote Bangladesh country image. Third thing, we are engaging more global, fairs like trade fair. Recently, we already confirmed with the Osaka Expo. This is a global expo. So that will start in April. So this kind of engagement will help to, rebuild our image. And secondly, we would like to create a new image. Like our Bangladeshi people are very resilient, entrepreneurs are resilient. Our youth is huge potential. Enormous energy they have. They actually change the regime with a new hope, aspiration for our people. And they are very, intelligent, very innovative, and you see, if you see, I mean, it is very silently it is working on, but there are some startup companies that are doing excellent, performance in the market, and in the ICT sector, huge potential. So our youth would be a good branding strategy, their capacity, their, potentials and their intelligence. We will highlight on that. And finally, Bangladesh is very much focused on sustainability, sustainable growth and sustainability. Even if you see RMG industry as well as even leather industry, Bangladesh is very much ahead of many countries in terms of complying European Union due diligence, like they have corporate sustainability due diligence directive, they have human rights and environmental due diligence issue. We are following the green factory. I mean, we are building green factories. Bangladesh has the highest LEED certified factory in the world, like
Yes.
230, 232 in fact it is now.
And 2 is already footwear.
200, 2 is
Already footwear, yeah.
And in the top 100 factories, top ranking 100 factories, Bangladesh boasts to have like 62
Yes.
factories in the top list. As well as we are promoting the green initiative and our environmental policy, our social policy, our women empowerment, everything aligned with our ESG, the broader line ESG, environment, social and governance. So that is, I mean, once all the, our initiative actually get together, I mean, then it will see a great momentum.
Okay. My last question, any message that to our exporters, especially for this sector?
I mean, leather is our, all the time people are saying that leather is our second potential sector, and I believe $5 billion is not a big target, though we could not achieve it because of many structural issues was there, some socio-political reason was there behind the scene. I would not mention that, but I believe if we can pursue the right policy, then leather and footwear sector, leather footwear and leather goods sector, huge. We can employ more youth over there, more employment will be there, and I think we also need bring some innovation over there for new product, for new market. So R&D would be a great support for them. Energy, we will have to, from the government, we have to ensure, secure their energy, educate energy, and finance would be a critical one. And SMEs who are working in this area, they should have a special, attention for having access to the finance. So, and I believe leather sector would cater a huge new era, and because we have, if we really have good policy in place and we can pursue it, we can add almost 100% value in our value chain.
Well,
This is the sector where we have opportunity. So I'm very much optimistic about that sector, and I'd love to work with them. For any support they need, I will be with them. Thank you.
thank you very much for your time. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.